What's a story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
First, it's a party at Mouse's house.
Happy birthday, Mouse.
A young boy and his mom step out for a different kind of walk around town. We take big, giant steps. A gentle bull goes berserk.
Running around puffing and snorting and butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. Yowies!
And meet a young boy and his very special friend.
He called her Miss Nancy and told her all his secrets.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. By the annual financial support from viewers like you. And by the National Endowment for Children's Educational Television.
Oh, this is Kino's car. I guess he forgot it again. And this looks like his plane. Well, lost and found.
Oh, brother. Oh, hi, Lucy. Phew, brother, this backpack here must weigh a zillion pounds. But guess what?
What?
My problems are solved. Well, almost. Have you seen my car?
Oh, yes, I just found it. It's right here.
Oh, great, great. Would you put it in my backpack, please?
Oh, my.
Just turn around here.
Well, I'll give it a try.
Stick it in there someplace. Yeah, okay, thanks. Oh, another thing. Have you seen my model airplane?
Oh, that's right here, too.
Oh, yes, yes. Would you put it in my backpack, too, please?
Oh, Kino, I don't think this is gonna work.
Just put it in there anywhere.
Ooh, there.
Oh, great, great. Thanks a lot, Lucy. As I was saying, my problems are...
Kino, are you okay?
Oh. Yeah, I think so.
Hi, Kino. Hi, Lucy. I am ready to read.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi. Oh, Kino, I found these things out on the front steps. I was wondering if they might be yours.
Oh, no.
Was it something I said?
I think it was the some things you were carrying.
Oh.
Now, what were you saying about your problem being solved, Kino?
Well, you see, I thought they were. I'm always forgetting things. I lose stuff. So I decided to carry every last bit of my favorite stuff with me all the time.
Except that I think you have a little too much favorite stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Kino, your problem reminds me of the book that I brought to read today. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, well, sure. I'm always ready for a story.
Okay. I'm sure you'll like this one. It was written by Jane Yolen and illustrated by Bruce Deegan.
Okay.
Mouse's birthday. Mouse's house is very small. Very small. Very small. Hardly any room at all for anyone but Mouse. In comes Cat upon his knees, carrying a gift of cheese, trying very hard to squeeze into Mouse's house. In comes Dog upon his knees, carrying a pot of teas, trying very hard to squeeze into Mouse's house. In comes Cow upon her knees, carrying a bowl of peas, trying very hard to squeeze into Mouse's house. In comes Horse upon his knees, carrying a pair of skis, trying very hard to squeeze into Mouse's house. In comes Farmer on his knees, carrying a brown valise, trying very hard to squeeze into Mouse's house. They all fit, candles lit. Happy birthday, Mouse. Candle glows, Mouse blows, house goes whoosh! What a mess, huh? Mouse's new house is very wide, very wide, very wide. Everyone can fit inside, including little Mouse.
Whoa, that was London Bridges falling down. No, I mean, that was Mouse's birthday. No, I mean, that was Mouse's Bridges' birthday. I mean, wait a minute.
Kino, it was London Bridge, and it reminded me of your problem.
Oh, you mean the falling down part. Huh, I get it. Mouse's house was too crowded, just like my backpack.
Exactly. I'll get it.
Oh, okay. So, Lucy, do you think I should get a bigger backpack?
I think the one you have is already much too heavy, isn't it?
Yep. It weighed 1 zillion pounds. Maybe I'll just have to have less favorite stuff.
Oh, gee, Kino, I think that might be very hard.
Yeah.
Cross, crisscross, 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 up the stairs, crisscross. Yes, we did it.
Hey, Lucy, Kino, I want you to meet some friends. This is Ramona and Philip and Roxanne.
Hi, Kino.
Hi.
They're
Hi,
here
everybody.
for story time. Yes.
Well, why are you guys walking like scissors?
Oh, well, that's in one of Lucy's favorite books, and actually, we were wondering if you would read it.
Oh, great. Read away, Lucy.
Yes, that favorite book.
Hey, move in close to Lucy.
All right, come on. I'd love to share this. Okay, it's called Jonathan and His Mommy, and it was written by Irene Smalls Hector, and the pictures are by Michael Hayes. I like to go walking and talking with my mom. First, we zigzag walk down the street. It looks strange to the people we meet. Then we take big, giant steps, and talk in loud, giant voices. And we say big things the way giants must talk. I say, did you see that humongous mammoth among us? After that, we take itsy-bitsy baby steps.
Itsy-bitsy baby steps. And talk in tiny voices about baby things. Itsy-bitsy spiders, tiny dreams, and small marshmallows.
Next, we take bunny steps. Hop, 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 hop. Hip hop, too, sometimes. As we wriggle our noses and wiggle our ears, we look so funny that we end up in tears. Tears that dry with the wind as we take fast running steps, running our race. You're the winner. I'm the misser. I see on my mom's face. Sometimes she can't keep up with my fast pace. So I slow it down, and we do slow motion steps. Slow motion steps as we talk about molasses and birthdays and how long they take. And just before we're about to fall asleep, we take a leap onto our toes and do ballet steps. Ballet steps. Arms in the air, twirling round and round till our feet touch the ground. Then we do crazy crisscross steps. Crazy crisscross steps. Mommy steps and I step, and our legs cross. Mommy steps and I step, and our legs crazy cross. The one who makes the last step is the boss of the crisscross. After crossing a fast and our last crisscross, we move on to reggae steps. Reggae steps, hip swaying, feet step, step, sliding side to side, bodies moving to the beat of our hearts. Then we take backward steps. Backward steps and go to all the places we've been. Which is good, because by this time, we're tired. And we take Jonathan and Mommy steps. Jonathan and Mommy steps. And walk our way home.
It's a nice book.
Oh, what a cool book.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Lucy? I'm going to ask my mom if we can take a funny walk, just like Jonathan and his mom.
Oh, well, I'm glad you like the story, Kino.
Yeah.
Oh, do you kids have anything special that you do with your parents or with your friends? You go swimming.
You do?
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Water walking.
I
Water
like
walking.
walking in the park.
Oh,
In the park.
walking in the park is so nice. How being outdoors.
Yeah, I'll say.
How
With the
about
sun
you,
shining
Philip?
down.
Playing on my structure.
Playing on your structure?
Your structure?
where's
Is
that?
like a
Like a jungle gym?
In the backyard?
Oh, yeah. Those are cool.
That's great. Whoops. I just remembered. I've got to go right now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm, really. But I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave here walking backwards like Jonathan and his mom, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay, here
Yeah.
I go. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, Goodbye.
Hello, Mara.
Hello, Hector.
Bye, Mara.
Goodbye, Hector.
Goodbye. Look at that.
Hi, Hector.
How are you? Hello, Lucy. Hello, kids. How you doing? Look at you. Don't you? May I sit down? Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, hi, Hector. You know,
Hey, hi, Kino.
everybody's forgetting stuff today. Did you remember to bring a story?
No, I think I forgot. No, I'm only
Oh.
kidding. I'm only kidding. Yes, I did. Come over here, guys. Come on. Come over. Sit next to me over here. This is a little bit. That's it. Right over here, Philip. Jump up here, pal. There you go. This is a wonderful story that I remember from when I was a child, which means a long, long time ago. It's called Ferdinand.
I hear that.
You did? By Monroe Leaf and illustrated by Robert Lawson.
Well, let's hear it.
Ferdinand. Ready? Okay. Once upon a time, in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together, eh? But not Ferdinand. No, not him. He liked to just sit quietly and smell the flowers. Isn't that funny? The big guy, that's what he liked. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Eh? Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. She was a nice mommy.
Yeah.
As the years went by, look at this. Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day long. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid.
Madrid.
That's a beautiful city in Spain. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to just sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats. 5, yeah, there you are. To pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting and leaping and jumping so the men would think that they were very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to do what? To sit down. That's it. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice, cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee's. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do?
Sting it.
At least, you would sting him. And that's just what this bee did to Ferdinand.
Uh-oh.
Wowee! Did that hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. And he ran around puffing and snorting and butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. Yowie! The 5 men saw him. They all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. They thought he was terrific. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. They thought he was fierce. What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleros with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. They came first. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. What a piece of work. Look at him. He thought he was very handsome. He bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword, and he was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull. And you know who that was, don't you? Ferdinand, right? Ferdinand. Stay close there. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matadores were scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted, "Hoy!" and clapped, because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. What did he do?
Sit there.
When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce, no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderilleros were mad, and the picadores were madder. And the matador, he was so mad, he just because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very happy.
Oh, that was a great story. I'm glad you remembered it, Hector. It was really terrific.
Thank you. I think Ferdinand had the right idea, don't you? Just sitting back and smelling the flowers beats fighting any day, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
because then he would get too tired and he wouldn't have time to smell the flowers.
Good point. Never thought of that.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Take a walk.
Good as smelling the flowers.
Another hero of
Walk
mine.
is better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Taking a walk and then
healthy.
having a little lunch, taking a nap afterwards. Right?
Why do you suppose Ferdinand liked to smell flowers?
'Cause he was sweet.
Because he was sweet.
That's a very good reason.
Oh.
He really didn't care what the other bulls thought about that, huh?
No, he didn't care.
He didn't care.
Flowers smell good, too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And sometimes you have to be just who you are.
Yeah.
And you can't worry what other people think. Yeah.
Why did he just sit there and smell the flowers?
It smelled good.
Flowers?
But I...
That's right.
Yeah,
they
Of
smell
course.
good.
Flowers are beautiful.
I
guess he thought it was
see
fun.
Uh-huh.
that you remembered to bring 2 books. Would you read us another one?
I remembered. Can anyone find my glasses? I forgot where.
They're on your
Oh, so thank you. It's funny, though, but you see, this book is about forgetting and remembering, and it's one of my very favorites. It's called, look at this name, 4 names, Wilford Gordon MacDonald Partridge. It's written by Mem Fox, and it's illustrated by Julie Vivas. Are we ready?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
boy. There was once a small boy called Wilford Gordon MacDonald Partridge. And what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew all the people who lived there. He liked Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. He admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. But his favorite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt Cooper, because she had 4 names, just as he did. He called her Miss Nancy and told her all his secrets. One day, Wilford Gordon heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. Poor thing, said his mother. Why is he a poor old thing? Asked Wilford Gordon. Because she's lost her memory, said his father. It isn't surprising, said his mother. After all, she is 96. What's a memory? Asked Wilford Gordon. He was always asking questions. It's something you remember. But Wilford Gordon wanted to know more. So he called on Mrs. Jordan, who played the organ. What's a memory? He asked. Something warm, my child, something warm. He called on Mr. Hosking, who told him scary stories. So what's a memory? Something from long ago, my lad, something from long ago. He called on Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket. So what's a memory? Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry. He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. What's a memory? Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh. He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. What's a memory? Something as precious as gold, young man. Something as precious as gold. So Wilford Gordon went home again to look for memories for Miss Nancy, because she had lost her own. He looked for the shoebox of shells he had found long ago last summer and put them gently in a basket. He found the puppet on strings, which always made everyone laugh, and he put that in the basket, too. He remembered with sadness the medal which his grandfather had given him, and he placed it gently next to the shells. Next, he found his football, which was as precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went into the hen house and took a fresh, warm egg from under a hen. Then Wilford Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her each thing one by one. What a dear, strange child to bring me all these wonderful things, thought Miss Nancy. Then she started to remember. She held the warm egg and told Wilford Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs she had once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden. She put a shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach by tram long ago and how hot she felt in her button-up shoes. She touched the medal and talked sadly of the big brother she had loved, who had gone to war and never returned. She smiled at the puppet on the strings and remembered the one she had shown to her sister and how she had laughed with a mouthful of porridge. Cereal, that's cereal. She bounced the football to Wilford Gordon and remembered the day she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either.
Oh,
Isn't that a nice story?
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Gee, I really like that story a lot, Hector.
Thank you. Wilford Gordon and Miss Nancy had a very special friendship, didn't they? Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very nice.
Do any of you have special friendships? Do you have a best friend, Roxanne?
Yeah, a best friend called Natasha, Daniela, and Phoebe.
Ooh.
Okay. You have special friends?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Who?
Amy, Rebecca, and Acacia.
That's a lot of friends.
That's great. How about you, Philip?
What do you say, pal?
Another kid, but the same name that I have. Philip,
Really?
Really?
Jeremy, Kevin, Christopher, Alex, and Eli.
Wow, that's a lot of special
you
friends,
know,
huh?
If people are judged by their friendships, you folks must be terrific folks here. You have
Yeah.
lots of friends.
You got lots
That's
of
very
friends.
nice.
You know, sometimes I feel like Miss Nancy because I'm always forgetting stuff, like where my car is or my plane. My mom says that it's lucky my head's glued on or I'd forget it too.
Well, maybe the solution is to put things away when you're finished with them.
That's a terrific. Always put things back in a very special place.
Right.
Oh, like in a toy box or on a shelf?
Something like that. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
before I forget, let's do our story picks. I'd like to recommend another book by Jane Yolen. It's called Owl Moon, and it's the story of a very special adventure shared by a father and his daughter.
Oh, and I wanted to remember to tell you about this book right here. It's called Grandfather's Journey. It's a book about remembering. Oh, and guess what? I just remembered something else to always remember, to keep a story in your heart.
Absolutely. Keep a story in your heart.
Oh, keep your heads glued on, amigos. Bye-bye.
Today's Storytime books are Jonathan and His Mommy, Mouse's Birthday, The Story of Ferdinand, Wilford Gordon MacDonald Partridge, Owl Moon, and Grandfather's Journey. You can find these and other books at your local library.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by the National Endowment for Children's Educational Television. Storytime is a production of KCET Los Angeles.